Welcome to the Michigan Football Report here on YouTube. We are going to talk what we know on 2021 Michigan football spring practice, a little spring game, talk a little recruiting, and some dangerous speeding violations from one now former Michigan Wolverine player. It's all coming up here on the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports on our YouTube channel. Our first story up today is Giles Jackson has officially left Ann Arbor. Told you about a couple weeks ago that he was leaning towards transferring, entering his name in the transfer portal. That became a reality just a few days ago. And today, he posted on his Instagram story a photo of him driving in the middle of Illinois, seemingly heading in the direction he was heading, in the spot he was at, heading back to the Bay Area in the middle of the spring semester. I know Michigan's allowing players to be remote campus, so there's no really reason for him to stick around if he is indeed transferring, which he has said he is going to. So Giles Jackson has departed the program completely. He's not going to obviously participate in any more spring practices, but won't even be around campus to finish out the semester if that was even something he wanted to do. But one thing we should note, I tweeted out there, I'll talk about that here in a second, but 97 miles per hour. A little bit of advice to you college kids out there. Don't put things in your social media where you're trying to tell people where you're at, where you're traveling, and have your dashboard in the shot going 97 miles per hour. It can only lead to criticism. So Giles Jackson heading out to California, it seems. Not any confirmation on that, but we have confirmed that he has officially moved out of his apartment. He's leaving Ann Arbor, so he's no longer in and around the football team. But kind of a bad look going 97. I don't know. I mean, if you're going to speed, just keep in the DL, avoid the cops, and you won't get any criticism from people like me and a ton of people on the internet over the last few hours. If you want to see the photo of Giles Jackson that I was talking about, I put it on my Twitter account earlier today. It's at James Yoder on Twitter. So make sure you go, check it out, retweet it, comment it, whatever you want, but make sure you do follow me. It's at James Yoder on Twitter. Awesome Michigan football, recruiting, inside access to the program, basketball news here and there. But go ahead, if you're a Twitter user, active, come on. Money back guaranteed if you follow me. So it's at James Yoder. Head over there. Let me know you watch the show. And if you do it in the next 48 hours, money back guarantee, and I will follow you back. Our first story here on today's show is around a 2025 star recruit, Walter Nolen, who was on Michigan's campus late in March, was trying to connect with Will Johnson, who he's become friends with. This is the number 2 overall recruit, defensive tackle in the 2022 class out of the suburbs of Memphis, Tennessee. Named a top 8, one of those schools is Michigan, and a lot of people around the Michigan football program and around other recruits who have talked to Nolen, Will Johnson, the 5-star cornerback out of the greater Detroit area that's committed to Michigan, him being one of them, his dad being one of them, think that Michigan might be the leader here. Now, it's not going to be easy to get his services out of SEC country. All the normal schools are in his top 8. Alabama and every other school that dominates the recruiting rankings over the last few years. But Michigan has definitely made an impression here. There's another commit in this 2022 class out of the state of Tennessee that's become friends with him, Will Johnson, and his parents have family in the greater Detroit area, and they have, obviously relocated south, but that is a sticking point sometimes for recruits if they want to leave state, if there's family members nearby. So I'm going to be really interested to see this one named as top 8 earlier today, and if Michigan can land him, it's a much-needed position of need, with defensive tackle being a struggle over the last few years, but maybe more importantly, it is an interesting it'll be a very interesting start to this 2022 class to have 2 of the top 10 players in the country, and one of them being from SEC country. All right, more Michigan football news and rumors here on the show today. Let's take a look at the spring practice updates that you guys want to know about. I've got some nuggets and some little insights of information that we're going to dive into, let you know what we're hearing around the program and what you can expect coming out of spring practice and into the summer, where there are less supervised practices, and into fall camp, which should get started around the first Monday in August. Number 1, hasn't been officially announced, but we've been told that Michigan will hold a traditional spring game a week from Saturday, a week from tomorrow, April 10th, but will not be open to public, but they're going to hold it in Michigan Stadium, and parents of the players will be allowed to attend. But as I mentioned there, you see the bottom of the screen, no fans of the spring game. The rules in the state of Michigan haven't been relaxed, so Michigan, even if they wanted to, wouldn't be technically permitted by the state to have fans, which I think puts them as a competitive disadvantage since Ohio State's going to hold their spring game one Saturday after that and reportedly hold 25,000 or more fans and are planning to charge $5 or $10, although they haven't announced it. So Michigan at kind of a disadvantage there, but with the way the season ended, I'm not sure how much interest there would be in this spring game anyways, but that is just my takeaway on that. But I'll ask you guys this question. If you were planning on attending a Michigan football game this fall, go ahead and down in the comments and type me. I just want to see how many of you watch. Take the number of watchers, the number of people who type me, kind of get a percentage of how many fans are going to attend a game in person this year. Went a whole season without any fans in the stand, and for a lot of people, they found other things to do on Saturdays. They didn't want to travel to games and things like that. So I want to know what the pulse is. Can Michigan keep that 100,000 attendance streak, 100,000 paying fans attendance streak alive? It's been going on since the 70s. Can they keep it alive into the 2021 season, coming off a 2-4 coronavirus shortened season last year? Make sure to follow us here on YouTube. It is Michigan. It's youtube.com/Michigan TV. The Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports just hit 13,000 subscribers. Want to make you 13,001. So go ahead and subscribe. We're putting out Michigan football news, rumors, depth charts, speculation. We're going to start predicting the record and going inside and in depth on the games this season. So if you want more Michigan football news, no fluff, and frankly, the best-looking host of all time on YouTube for Michigan. You've seen the blog boys. Come on. Give us a follow here. Give us a subscribe. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Got some more Michigan football practice news. I want to talk about 2 or 3 stories here that we've got insight on that you are going to want to know heading into this last week of spring practice. And number one of those is the quarterback position is a major concern we've heard from a source. What does that mean? There's only 2 quarterbacks that are really true scholarship guys on campus right now participating in the spring. One, Cade McNamara. He's been taking the snaps with the first team offense, but he's just not looking that good. All right. Number 2, J.J. McCarthy, although talented, more talented than Cade McNamara, is still supposed to be a senior in high school, and he doesn't seem to be one that is ready to take the reins of the offense this spring. 4 months or so until fall camp starts. Maybe he matures and grows and learns over the summer and is able to take the reins then, although unlikely. And then there's Alan Bowman, who is not on campus yet. He will be entering, transferring to Michigan after spring semester is over at Texas Tech. So he will start and be enrolled in spring practice, summer classes coming up in June. So he's still got about 2 months until he's on campus and even has a chance to work with the receivers or learn the playbook, things like that. But he's not coming to Michigan and expecting to sit the bench. Jim Harbaugh and the staff has given him every opportunity to compete for the job, which I'd hope they do at every single position. But with what the quarterback position is looking like this spring so far, I think he definitely has an opportunity to win that job. The next up, on the good side, secondary is expected to be a strength of the team. And how much of a strength or how much of a competition they have to be a strength of this team, I'm not so sure, because there's a lot of holes, a lot of positions that don't have that much depth. But secondary was one of the worst positions on the team, if not the worst last year. They got burned in the secondary by everybody. And so 2 things that are at factor here. One, all 4 starters returning. All right, you got Daxton Hill, you've got Brad Hawkins, and at the cornerbacks who got burned left and right, Vincent Grey, Gemon Green, both returning, and you've got 5 players who were true freshmen last year that all have freshman eligibility this year, although some did play. 3 safeties, 2 cornerbacks that are taking a step forward, expected to add a lot more depth, push those players that weren't getting it done last year. So secondary with the new defensive scheme, not going to be put on an island as much, will play more zone, and I think from what I'm hearing and just expectations of them maturing a year, certainly will not be the disaster zone than they were in 2020. So expect the secondary to be a little stronger coming up in this next year. All right, last but not least topic today on the show is the running back position. Michigan's got 3 backs that they like. Donovan Edwards is getting a lot of hype, given that he's a new player coming in, freshman, should still be in high school. But Blake Corum has caught the eye of Mike Hart. He will compete with Hassan Haskins for the starting role. But if Haskins or potentially Donovan Edwards wins the job, do expect Corum to be featured in different parts of the offense, like Giles Jackson, A.J. Henning, and some others were last year, catching the ball in the backfield, getting the ball on swings, reverses, things like that, and being involved in the return game throughout the 2021 season. So that's a little bit of a shakeup in how he has been featured last year, a little bit in the passing game, but mostly in the running game. That's all the show we have for today. Make sure to follow us here on YouTube, and you will get more Michigan football news and rumors. Until next time, go Blue.